welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since my last video upload. If you're new here, welcome. My name is New and I started my channel to document my journey to recovering from burnout and also to follow me on my gap year from teaching. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 lessons I've learned this far into my journey. Looking back 6 months ago, I could never have imagined the kind of growth and healing that was in store for me. All I knew back in October of 2021 was that I needed a break from teaching and a break from the hustle culture. The very first lesson that I learned, and the most important one, I learned that I am worthy, lovable, and enough just the way I am. My self-worth is not dependent on my productivity. All my life, I've grown up with the belief that in order for me to matter, I had to have accomplished something, whether it was getting good grades, doing my chores, doing what I was told. I tied my self-worth to my accomplishments. Looking back, now it's clear as day to me as to why I've always needed to feel productive. I always wanted to do something and be busy. Back then, I didn't understand why, but now I have so much compassion for that old version of me, the version who had such low self-worth that she wouldn't allow herself to relax, to sit around doing nothing. I learned that just being me, just the way I am, makes me worthy. Think about it, when a baby is born, does the baby have to do anything to be worthy of love, attention, or affection? No, of course not. But somewhere along the journey of growing up in society, we have lost that sense of worthiness. We change and start to believe that we have to be a certain way, dress a certain way, and do certain things in order to be worthy. And during these past 6 months, I have really struggled to be okay with the fact that I no longer had a job. I was no longer being productive and getting stuff done. I didn't have a tight and busy schedule. I had to work past that belief that I needed to be doing something all the time to be worthy. I can say that I have come a long way since 6 months ago. I no longer glorify the hustle culture and no longer feel pride for being busy. I slowly accepted myself just as I am, without a job, without an income, and without a plan of what my next steps are in life. I'm not 100% there because there are still days when I revert back to my old ways of thinking. Days where I feel an urge to do something productive just so I can feel like I matter. But what counts is that those days have gotten fewer and fewer. The second lesson that I have learned was that triggers are my friend. If you are not familiar with what triggers are, they are a stimulus that awakens or worsens the symptoms of a traumatic event. I started having a lot of triggers come up for me, where I would get overly upset at someone who said something to me that I didn't like. However, I knew the root was something deeper, because when I looked at the situation afterwards, I saw how it didn't make sense for me to get that upset about the situation. And this happened multiple times before I stopped myself and really dug deep into the root event that was stirring up these emotions within me. I dug back to my childhood to ask questions about what happened around me during my childhood and how I processed it for me to still be reacting to things in the same way. If it weren't for these triggers, I would have never had a reason to reflect on a deeper level. This lesson about triggers really helped reveal to me the healing that needed to be done inside of me in order for me to get to a place of peace. There are a lot of resources talking more about triggers and traumas, so if you are interested in learning more, I definitely recommend looking into it. The third and final lesson that I want to share with you today is that emotions are energy in motion. What comes in needs to go out. just like food. We eat it, it gets processed in our bodies, and then it leaves our system. The same needs to happen with emotions. Unfortunately, it doesn't. When we feel an emotion that is unpleasant, we tend to shove it down and suppress it, therefore keeping it stuck in our body. This is exactly what I've seen modeled to me my whole life, so I just adopted it as truth and didn't question it. Whatever emotion I felt, I either kept it to myself or told myself that I shouldn't be feeling that way, and tried to get rid of that emotion as quickly as possible. These emotions became stuck energy over time and creates dis-ease in the body, which then forms diseases. We need to learn to accept all emotions, pleasant and unpleasant. No emotion is good or bad. However, society demonizes unpleasant emotions, making people suppress or hide their emotions. I now see my emotions as my friend. I let myself feel the emotion. I observe it, see what it has to communicate to me, acknowledge it, and then let it pass through me. Emotions are not fact, so it's not healthy to act on every emotion you feel, but it is healthy to pay attention to it and release it. This practice is a hard one, but just because it's hard doesn't mean I am going to give up. My old way of dealing with my emotions wasn't serving me, so I am ready to try something new and get different results. Like Einstein says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So those were the 3 lessons that I would like to share with you, and if you happen to be on a self-discovery and self-love journey, hopefully it helped shed some light for you, maybe give you some clarity. Remember that you are enough, just the way you are. When you get triggered, instead of getting angry and dismissive of the emotion, get curious because it has something to tell you. And lastly, allow yourself to feel your emotions. Let them in. Process them. And when they've been heard and felt, they'll leave when it's time to leave. Trust your body. It's smarter than you think. Thank you for taking the time to invest in you, to heal and become a better version of yourself. Because as we heal and start loving and accepting ourselves, everyone around us benefits. If you found this video helpful in any way, make sure to like this video and share it with a loved one. Share in the comments one of the most powerful lessons you have learned in the recent months. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, click that subscribe button, and until next time, be the creator of your best life.